All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to play a quick game of two truths and one lie. I'm going to say three things, and you have to figure out which of the three things is a lie. There's only going to be one. All right, so the first thing is I am a perfectly appropriate and celebratory level of drunk. The second thing is if by the time this has been uploaded, if I'm not at 50,000 subscribers, I have neared 50,000 subscribers. And the third and final thing is the Milwaukee Bucks are in the NBA Finals. Hey, wait a second. Wait, Nick, wait. All three things you just said are entirely true. Oh, yeah. Yeah, would you look at that? I guess they are, aren't they? Now, I know that Grandma, I know you're watching this and you're like, Nick, I don't like when you're drunk on camera. I think it is unprofessional and I think it's bad for content and I don't like this version of this depiction of you. 100% I understand that because I don't like it myself either. But the money is good. Okay, I am in celebration mode. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta be honest. I'm in straight up celebration mode. The Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns in the freaking NBA Finals. Are you kidding me? Huh? Are you kidding me right now? Folks, I gotta be honest with you. I do not want to lie to the people that have been so good to me for less than a month. You guys have been great. I don't want to lie to you. The Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA Finals. I mean, that's just some straight sense right there. You have these two, I don't want to call them small market teams because Phoenix is like the fourth largest city in America. Like these two mid-market, underrepresented teams who, like, you know what? Here's what I'll say about Phoenix. I wish that Bucks fans could adopt what Phoenix has in the sense that, like, Suns fans do not care about what you think about them whatsoever. Like, if you want to do well, Jamal Murray was hurt. Well, LeBron James and Anthony Davis, they were hurt. Well, the Clippers didn't have Kawhi Leonard. Do you think Suns fans care? Suns fans do not care, and it is so admirable. The contrary, of course, to this is Bucks fans have to get so defensive when they talk about the Nets series. Guys, it's okay. If Brooklyn was healthy, the Bucks would have lost. It's okay. And this is why I have to remind you guys again, because you guys forget about this a lot, which is really silly to me for some reason. Every championship team in the history of modern basketball has gotten lucky at some point. And it's okay to understand that you guys caught a break. That's okay. You have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, James Christian Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Feels a little bit disingenuous to name James Christian Middleton before Giannis Antetokounmpo, but that's where we're at. Is this even going to end up being a preview video? Well, here's what I'll say. For those of you who are like, this is not the NBA Finals that I wanted. I wanted Brooklyn and I wanted the Clippers. Here's what I'm going to say to you because, well, my grandma is watching this, and like I said in a previous video, she doesn't like it when I call you guys idiots. So let me say this instead. Okay, so it feels like all the people who are like, no, I want star power. I want these super teams in the NBA Finals. Where's Brooklyn? Where are the Clippers? Where are the Lakers? Where are my narratives? It is hilarious to me that so many people, the same people that preach about parity, the same people that talk about, oh, we just want it to be unpredictable. We just want something new to happen for once. Those same people are now bitching because they don't have Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard in the NBA Finals. It's the same people that it's like, do you realize that Milwaukee and Phoenix is like one of the best things that could happen if you are a basketball fan? I'm not talking about a fan of any specific team. I'm talking about a fan of the game and the art of basketball itself. Do you understand how good it feels to have just such a legitimately great matchup? Just man on man, 5 through 5, 10 through 10, even 11 through 11. This is basketball. This is the art at its finest. You do not want parody, you want drama. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, is drama at its finest. I am so unbelievably sorry that Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez and company, and Chris Paul and Devin Booker and company have broken your hearts, but I truly don't give a fuck. Now, I want to say this, if you're a Bucks fan, I know the whole thing has been like, gosh, I just wish we could get rid of Mike Budenholzer, and it's like, well, it's probably not going to happen now, even if you lose in the finals. It's like, well, you got to the finals, and that was kind of the objective of Mike Budenholzer. Here's the thing. I give Mike Budenholzer a lot of credit, because in games 5 and gosh, dude, this Moscato is destroying me. Because in games 5 and game 6, the way that Brook Lopez was utilized was so vital to the Bucks' success. Like, instead of just relegating him to a role, and I've talked about this before, instead of relegating him into a role where he's just spotting up in the corner or spotting up on the wing, you are using him as a not just a rim runner really, but just, I guess, as a roll man and as a post threat, as an interior threat. The guy dropped 33 freaking points in game 5, and in game 6, he was so valuable unbelievable because he's not just stretching. I know that Brook Lopez can stretch, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, he's so much more than that. He had so many interesting defensive plays. Even if it didn't look like directly he was making an impact, I promise you, Brook Lopez off the ball even is just such a tremendous asset. And I got to stay closer to the mic because I feel like I'm just losing you guys. Game 6, Chris Middleton. I don't know if he ended up outscoring the Hawks in the entirety of the third quarter. I remember that there was, for a majority of it, he was outscoring Atlanta. James Christian Middleton arrived once again. I am not here to play the who's going to win the NBA Finals game because I'm not going to give you a sincere answer because I have to do my Bucks thing, but I also think that Phoenix is going to win. I just told you my prediction. I'm going to have to cut this. Because Bucks fans are getting mad at me. I'm terrified of Phoenix right now. That's the honest truth. I think they have such strong wing defenders and, well, no, as I'm saying this out loud, I guess it's just such a tremendously even matched NBA Finals. Like, DeAndre Ayton has done such a good job of dictating what opposing bigs can actually play in big games. He did it with Rudy Gobert. He did it with Zubats. Like, I don't want to say he did it with Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis was hurt, so I don't want to do it. But he did it with Gobert and he did it with Zubats, and he dictated what they were and were not allowed to do. So I'm really curious to see what that dynamic is going to be like in the NBA Finals in regard to Brook Lopez. And you look at a guy like, how is Chris Middleton going to guard somebody like Mikal Bridges or Devin Booker or Chris Paul? Like, that's going to be fascinating. Chris Paul versus Drew Holiday is going to be maybe the most exhausting individual matchup in the entirety of the series. I might have like an aneurysm just watching that because it's just, oh my gosh, that's going to be so beautiful. Talk about the Bucks getting the job done, by the way, in the last 2 games of the series without Giannis. And I think the presumption is that, because from everything, I don't want to do here's what I was told, because I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm going to assume that Giannis is going to be back for the NBA Finals, and that's going to be pretty good. And I don't know how that's going to age, but it sounds like right now that Giannis is like, you give him a little bit extra rest because you didn't go to Game 7, and it's like, wow, Giannis is going to be back. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be such a good series. I also want to mention there was a noticeable and almost palpable difference with how Drew Holiday had been playing in Giannis's absence. Like, there was a sense of confidence just on the offensive end. Defensively, and Reggie Miller had the presence of mind to correctly point it out on the broadcast. The dude is just going to defend 1 through 5. Whatever his team needs, like, he is the heartbeat of the team, and he's going to go to war for them. And it's just absolutely fascinating. PJ Tucker hitting a dagger 3 at the end of the game. My Twitter followers had to fall victim to my idiocy when I said that Brook Lopez, the best center in Milwaukee Bucks history, with the dagger lob, wouldn't have it any other way. And by the way, I'm going to stand by that. Hey, by the way, I just want to remind you guys, you don't have Cade Cunningham. I just want to remember that while we're talking about Phoenix and we're talking about Milwaukee, you guys don't have Cade Cunningham. I just want to remind you guys of that because Detroit does. We have Cade. You don't have Cade. You might have a finals championship. We're going to have like 10 in a few years. I just want to remind you of that. What am I forgetting? I swear, I've been recording. What's the raw file at right now? 33 minutes. So there's probably a lot of stuff that's been cut. What do I want to talk about before we wrap this up? We give Mike Budenholzer a lot of nonsense, but he made so many strong adjustments throughout this Atlanta series. I think more than he's ever made. Specifically defensively in any series that he's coached as the coach of Milwaukee. I think the one that we gave him the most crap for was not playing Bobby Portis for the final 3 games of the Nets series. And it's funny because as much as we hated that, giving Bobby Portis DNPs for 3 consecutive games, 5, 6, and 7, they went 2-1 over those games. So like that whole spacing thing that he was going for, like technically it did end up working. But Bobby Portis, what he brought to this series for Milwaukee on both ends was like, and I know Hawks fans are going to be mad, but let me tell you something. Atlanta Hawks fans, it's going to be fine. I think DeAndre Hunter playing in this series, especially in Giannis's absence, would have been a tremendous detriment to Milwaukee. Like, I think that, talk about Cam Reddish. Talk about Cam Reddish, somebody that most of us were wrong about. If you had early stock on Cam Reddish, ladies and gentlemen, good for you. I was not one of those people. I was out on him quick. Like, I was like, RJ Barrett's pretty decent. Zion's obviously Zion, but I was like, Cam Reddish is probably the one that I'm just not in on at all. How about Cam Reddish hitting like, 6 or 7 threes in game 6 of the Eastern Conference? That was probably I got to be honest, that was probably the most disgusting thing about this game, was that intermittently Jeff Teague and Cam Reddish in game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals were like big shot hitters, right? Like, their shot selection was like, woo, was like money. Jeff Teague and Cam Reddish, gross. Like, that was just gross. But regardless, it was awesome. And again, I know Trey was hurt, but the Hawks, I don't want to say that I think the Hawks will be back next year, because I could very easily see them being like a Miami Heat. Like, wow, they were in the finals a year ago, and look how far they've fallen since then. Like, I could easily see Atlanta ending up being that team. I think they were just a victim of circumstance this year. They were playing with house money for like 80% of the NBA playoffs, and that's not a slight towards Atlanta. They were great. Trey Young was cold-blooded. I think he changed the minds of hundreds of thousands of people in the playoffs this year. But holy shit, you want to talk about Milwaukee versus Phoenix in the NBA Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is paradise. This is paradise for basketball fans. Should I do a more in-depth analysis of this? I don't know if I'll be able to before the series starts. I hope I remember recording this video.